Policies by Diddy. The allegations acquired restored consideration following Diddy's close-to-home discourse at Clive Davis' pre-Grammy supper, in which he promised his help for Craftsman Mace, further affirmed that in spite of the harm to his standing brought about by Diddy, he was supposed to keep performing cheerfully. For the crowd, this reverberations comparative opinions communicated by DMX. In regards to Diddy's treatment of Big Deal, DMX recommended that in secret Diddy would abuse those in his internal circle, yet anticipate that they should keep an exterior of satisfaction and unwaveringness in open. In the meantime, 50 Penny is one more figure in the business who has over and over blamed Diddy for both sexual and monetary double-dealing of his specialists. Explicitly, he has blamed the magnate for taking advantage of his craftsmen, both monetarily and physically anyway. There is one example that probably hit 50 Penny especially hard, given his high respect for the craftsman, included the treatment of Big Deal. Looking further into the point, 50 Penny has additionally stood in opposition to Diddy's treatment of Mace, asserting that the Big Shot's interest for $2 million kept the craftsman from leaving his terrible Kid contract in 2005 to favor G-Unit Records, for which 50 Penny was simply able to pay $1 million following quite a while of battling to break liberated from his agreement. Mace was at last conceded a one-year discharge in 2009. In the wake of interfering with Diddy's meeting with Atlantis B103, this episode was caught on camera as Diddy marked Mace's agreement before Valence. Anyway, plateau battles with Awful Kid have not finished fair. As a matter of fact, the craftsman is as yet engaging with Diddy in a work to recover his distributing privileges after forever withdrawing the mark in 2012. Base cases that he has of late offered Jingle $2 million in real money to repurchase his distributing. However, did he reject expressing that Mace should match the deal made by an European purchaser? Tragically, Mace isn't the main craftsman to layman, marking with Terrible Kid. As a matter of fact, Big Deal's mom has expressed that her child was excessively youthful to comprehend the control he was being exposed to by Diddy. Furthermore, in 1999, Jadakiss Styles P. and Sheek Louch of the Locks sent off the Free the Secures crusade, trying to get away from their Terrible Kid contract. The threesome felt that Diddy was focusing on business accomplishment over their legitimate style and needed to sign with a more certified unpleasant writer's name, which was home to DMX, at any rate. While Diddy in the end let them out of their agreement, he held portion of their tune distributing, which permitted him to keep up with Impact over their vocations. In 2005, this issue reached a crucial stage when Styles blamed Diddy for unfairly claiming half of their distributing organization during a warmed contention on Hot 97. Diddy has obviously been involving his specialists for cash, and other grimy blessings fans have remarked on his way of behaving, with one fan saying Big Deal was a faultless narrator. I'll give him guides, his accounts were trustworthy, yet he was a controlled item. Diane Diddy. While another fan responded, my father just said Diddy was gay and Big Deal wasn't down that way, so that is the reason he killed him. What's frightening is the way that Diddy didn't quit exploiting youthful specialists after Big Deal's demise. As a matter of fact, the hip-bounce tycoon really chose to go for considerably more youthful specialists. Evidently, Diddy did likewise things to a youthful attendant at only 14 years of age. Usher went to what was alluded to as Puffy's flavor camp, and in a 2004 meeting with Drifter, Usher uncovered that Diddy acquainted him with the grown-up way of life, and he saw a few wild things at Diddy's home. Episode acquainted me with a very surprising arrangement of bish sex. Explicitly, sex is so hot in the businessman. It was on these young ladies around you to open an entryway and see someone making it happen, or a few group in a room having a bash. You never realized what planned to happen. Asher additionally spilled the tea on the Howard Harsh show when he discussed his time at Diddy's place. At a 2016 meeting, he told Howard Harsh that he genuinely realized what it intended to be renowned subsequent to residing with Puff Daddy for a year at 14 years old. I had an opportunity to see some face. I went there to see the way of life. And I saw it, Usher said during his most memorable Harsh Show interview. Notwithstanding this, in an as of late re-emerged interview with Kevin Hart, did he let it slip that he and Usher used to rest in a similar bed when Diddy was 19, which means Usher was only 10 years of age at the time. Plainly, the music business has a long history of double dealing and control, and the new charges against Diddy just highlight this reality. As an ever-increasing number of specialists approach with their accounts, it's turning out to be progressively evident that something needs to change in the business. Up to that point, it ultimately depends on individual craftsmen to be watchful and shield themselves from the savage acts of people with great influence. At any rate, that is all there is to it for this video. You take a seat at a table, and you do the agreement game that is insane. I never saw a big deal grin until caused them to compose verses for himself, and took all that distributing and assaulted them like Dan holding that organization. Let them know it's off base. And on the off chance that you don't really accept that it's off base, then you too, the music business has forever been known to be ferocious and manipulative. Yet the new disclosures about Diddy have revealed much more insight into the seed underside of the business. Many have blamed the tycoon for taking advantage of and controlling his craftsmen, and the charges just appear to deteriorate. Notwithstanding the charges of sexual abuse and monetary control, it has now been asserted that did he power Big Deal to sign a sex contract, while the specific subtleties of the agreement have not been uncovered, then their concept of such a report is profoundly upsetting. Sadly, this isn't the initial occasion when the music business has been blamed for such practices. In a new video, entertainer Dave Chappelle examined how the business purportedly utilizes troublesome wording in agreements to confound and take advantage of specialists. He expressed that the agreements are purposefully composed to be befuddling, making it almost unthinkable for craftsmen to comprehend what they are transferring. Ownership of this is especially concerning given that a large number of these specialists are youthful and unpracticed with little information on the business. As per Dave, most beginners in the business frequently succumb to these dreadful agreements. This is on the grounds that youthful craftsmen are often needing cash and an exit from their momentum circumstance, and are consequently helpless against the commitments of industry elites. Numerous big names have additionally spoken about how huge he felt prey to Diddy. One of these VIPs was the late DMX. During an early meeting, DMX imparted a profound experience to Big Deal Smalls that left him with a profound feeling of misery. As per DMX, Biggie had trusted in him about an episode of rape because of Diddy, who was then known as Seen Puffy Brushes or Puff Daddy. This was a stunning disclosure that, additional to the all-around dubious nature of Puff Daddy's standing in the business, anyway, DMX stayed focused on his foundations and kept on making music that addressed the hearts of his fans. In a noteworthy meeting before the arrival of his 2012 collection, Undisputed, DMX shared a tale about nearly getting a record-managed terrible kid diversion, yet was disregarded for the locks. This is a demonstration of the way that even the greatest stars face dismissal and misfortunes. Making progress toward progress, DMX recognized that the locks was a more secure gathering and was endorsed by Puff Daddy, who transformed them into diagram beating craftsmen. Anyway, DMX was not allowed a similar opportunity and was considered by Puff Daddy as not attractive because of his unpleasant voice. DMX has accepted that Puff Daddy's choice not to sign him might have been because of his sexual inclinations, as Puff had gained notoriety for being drawn to men. DMX even guaranteed that Diddy took the Locks' distributing and attacked them subsequent to causing them to compose verses for him. In the meantime, things took a dim turn when reports surfaced about Big Deal's supposed sexual maltreatment because of Seen Puffy Bays, otherwise called Diddy. Many near the two artists have approached with comparable cases, proposing that there is a reality to these stunning claims. A miserable update. Even in the charming universe of showbiz misuse and abuse, can occur in secret amidst this contention. Previous terrible Kid Craftsman Mace has delivered a scorching new melody called Prophet 2, remaining on bodies, in which he gets down on Diddy for his savage treatment of Big Deal. Both when his disastrous homicide, he likewise references the Sad City School occurrence from 1991, in which 9 individuals were killed during a ball game supported by Diddy Plainly Mace, has an issue that remains to be worked out with his previous partner. Yet maybe will generally surprising of everything is Plateau's supposed allegation that Diddy made the most of the late famous enormous youngsters. I'm not loathing on your Billy Worth right currently. I'm just expressing out loud whatever you truly work. You ain't no planner, you simply an end who know how to market passing he raps. It was Walk 9 1997. When the music world was shaken by the unfortunate fresh insight about the demise of hip jump legend Big Deal Smalls at the level of his vocation, the rapper was gunned down in a hit-and-run assault in Los Angeles, only weeks before the arrival of his exceptionally expected collection, Eternal Life, as of late strains between Big Deal's long-term companion and Mark accomplice Mace, and seen Diddy brushes have become visible in 2020. Mace took to Instagram to make charges of unreasonable and obscure strategic